David Thorpe's existence is a monument to quiet, respectable compromise. A successful architect in a sleek, solar city, his life is a series of polished surfaces, a comfortable but distant marriage, a career building glass boxes for other people's ambitions, and a pervasive, unexamined feeling that the vital music of his youth has faded to a faint hum. He moves through his days with a practiced, melancholic grace, the sharp edges of his younger dreams long since worn smooth by the steady abrasion of routine. His 40th birthday passes not with a crisis, but with a sigh, a silent acknowledgement of a door gently closing. This fragile equilibrium is shattered not by a dramatic event, but by a delivery. A plain cardboard box, postmarked from nowhere and addressed in a familiar, looping script he hasn't seen in decades, appears on his doorstep. Inside, nestled in unbleached cotton, are not objects, but memories made physical. A worn mixtape labeled with a song title that still pierces his heart. A pebble from a beach where he once promised a different future. A faded sketch of a fantastical building he designed at 20, full of impossible curves and defiant spirit. There is no note, no explanation, only these silent, potent accusations from the man he once was. At first, David treats the items as curiosities, relics of a closed archaeological dig. But they act as psychic keys. The tape, when played, doesn't just recall a melody, it floods his senses with the exact smell of rain on a Parisian street, the texture of a worn wool coat, the devastating clarity of a choice not taken, the choice to follow a passionate, chaotic artist named Alara instead of returning to security. The pebble warms in his hand, and he is no longer in his minimalist kitchen but on a windswept Irish coast, the ghost of his younger self whispering arguments for a life of rootless travel and philosophical inquiry, a path championed by his fiercely bohemian friend Kieran, who later vanished into his own ideals. These are not mere daydreams. They are visceral, parallel realities, bleeding into his present. He begins to experience echoes, glimpses of the other Davids he could have become. In the reflective glass of his office tower, he might see a glimpse of an older, wearier David, a wandering musician with kind eyes and empty pockets. A sudden scent of turpentine might overlay the boardroom, a haunting from the life of the dedicated painter he almost chose to be. His meticulously planned world becomes a palimpsest, with the ghostly writings of his unlived lives shimmering beneath the surface. As the echoes intensify, his present life begins to crack. His wife, Anya, senses his profound absence, the man beside her now a conduit for other times and other loves. His work, once a source of pride, feels like a betrayal of the visionary sketches from the box, each sterile line a denial of that youthful audacity. He becomes obsessed, not with recapturing lost youth, but with understanding the architecture of his own soul. He tracks down traces of Alara, now a renowned but reclusive sculptor, and Kieran, who lives in deliberate poverty on the edge of society. These encounters are not romantic reunions but stark mirrors. He sees the costs of their paths, the loneliness, the instability, the battered dreams, alongside their hard-won authenticity. David realizes the box was not sent to torment him, but to initiate him. The central, agonizing question shifts from "what did I lose?" to "what did I actually choose, and why?" He is forced to deconstruct the myth of the singular, perfect life. The artist's life had its own prisons of ego and poverty. The wanderer's freedom was also exile. His own safe life provided comfort, a partnership, and a tangible legacy in the city skyline, however uninspired. There is no villainous mistake, only a series of branches, each with its own unique weather of joy and sorrow. The culmination is not a dramatic leap into a new life, but a conscious, painful integration. He cannot become the 20-year-old dreamer, nor can he unsee the echoes. In a powerful, silent moment, he takes the visionary sketch from the box and, instead of lamenting it, uses it as inspiration for a radical new design. A building that embraces organic form and public space, a project that marries the wisdom of his experience with the daring of his abandoned self. He presents it to Anya not as a repudiation of their life, but as a proposal for its next, more truthful phase, scars and all. The package's final secret is not an answer, but a method. By confronting the fullness of his potential, the glorious and the grim, David stops being a ghost haunting his own life. He learns that midlife is not the plateau before the decline, but the vantage point. It is the difficult, necessary time when you can finally see the entire landscape of your choices, the intersecting roads taken and not taken, and from that height, with that hard-won clarity, you can begin to build the rest of your journey with intention, using all the bricks of your past, not just the tidy ones. The box empties, its work done. The music remains, no longer a lament for what is lost, but a more complex, richer score for what is, and what might yet be.